Ismat Chughthai's The Sacred Duty, original title, Pavitra Pop, is a poignant short story that delves into themes of societal norms, religious obligations, and the tension between personal desires and social expectations. Chughtai, known for her bold and unflinching portrayal of women's lives in Indian society, uses this narrative to critique the rigid structures that confine individuals, particularly women. The story revolves around two central characters: a devout, pious woman named Begum Jan and her young, naive maid named Noor. Begum Jan is portrayed as a strict adherent to religious duties, while Noor embodies innocence and simplicity. Through their interactions, Chughtai explores the complex dynamics of power, faith, and exploitation. The Sacred Duty follows the life of Begum Jan, who prides herself on her religious piety and her adherence to societal norms. She employs Noor, an orphaned girl, to assist with household chores. Over time, Noor becomes an integral part of the household, yet she remains subservient to Begum Jan's strict rules. The story takes a dramatic turn when Begum Jan, driven by her desire to fulfill her sacred duty, decides to marry off Noor in a manner that highlights the stark differences between societal expectations and personal well-being. One of the central themes in the story is religious hypocrisy. Begum Jan's outward display of piety masks her inner moral corruption. She uses religion as a tool to assert her authority and justify her actions, even when they cause harm to others. Chughtai critiques this superficial religiosity, exposing the gap between true spiritual integrity and mere ritualistic observance. The relationship between Begum Jan and Noor is marked by power imbalances. Begum Jan exercises control over Noor, making decisions for her under the guise of fulfilling religious and societal duties. Noor's lack of agency and her dependence on Begum Jan highlight the exploitation inherent in their relationship. Chughtai uses this dynamic to comment on the broader exploitation of the vulnerable in society. Chughtai explores the conflict between tradition and individual desires through Noor's character. While Begum Jan insists on adhering to traditional norms, Noor's silent suffering and eventual fate underscore the personal costs of such rigid adherence. The story questions whether fulfilling societal and religious duties can truly be considered virtuous when they cause personal suffering. As with many of Chughthai's works, The Sacred Duty carries strong feminist undertones. The story critiques the patriarchal structures that confine women and limit their choices. Begum Jan's authority and control over Noor reflect the broader societal control over women's lives. Chughtai advocates for greater autonomy and agency for women, challenging the norms that restrict their freedom. Chughthai's writing in The Sacred Duty is characterized by its clarity and emotional depth. Her use of simple, direct language enhances the story's impact, making the characters' experiences and emotions accessible to readers. The narrative's realism and attention to detail bring the characters and their struggles to life, creating a powerful and moving reading experience. The story is rich with symbolism and metaphors. Begum Jan's house represents the societal and religious constraints that imprison the characters. Noor's innocence and eventual victimization symbolize the vulnerability of the powerless. The marriage, orchestrated by Begum Jan, serves as a metaphor for the oppressive societal structures that dictate and often ruin individual lives. The Sacred Duty, by Ismat Chughtai, is a compelling critique of societal and religious norms that prioritize outward conformity over genuine compassion and moral integrity. Through the characters of Begum Jan and Noor, Chughtai exposes the exploitation and hypocrisy that often accompany rigid adherence to tradition. The story is a powerful call for introspection and a reminder of the human cost of blindly following societal expectations. Chughthai's nuanced portrayal of these themes ensures that the story remains relevant and thought-provoking, highlighting her enduring legacy as a pioneering voice in Indian literature.